Here is where I get to set my spirit free. Here is where I find my naturality. Where are we going?
Where are we going? This is Grit 2020. I'm Catherine Dwulit, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm here with Dr. Veloso to talk about how to thrive within the STEM field and find research opportunities and internships.
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me. So, how to find research placements and internships. So, I recommend students be proactive in their search for those opportunities because they're not going to fall into your lap necessarily. But when they do, be open to that happening as well. Because for myself, the way that I found my way to CSTEP, the Collegiate Science Technology Entry Program, through which I work with students who are underrepresented in helping them to get careers in STEM. So I actually was a psychology major in undergraduates. I went on to get my master's and PhD from Stony Brook University here in social and health psychology, which is basically, promoting wellness and the prevention of illness using psychological theories and concepts. And as I was working towards my doctorate, I was in the Center for Excellence Learning and Teaching here at Stony Brook University, working on outreach programs. One was called Girl Power 21st Century, where we worked with young students in elementary school to expose them to computer science, which is pretty cool. And so through that experience, I learned of the opportunity for CSTEP and STEP, the other program I work with, to be involved in it. And so my colleagues were saying that, you have the background, you should apply. And so I applied, and I literally graduated in 2006 with my PhD, and I started that September as the assistant director, and then I was made co-director about 5 years ago, and I've been with the programs for 14 years. And so I say all this with the preface that you want to be proactive in finding the opportunities by talking to faculty, getting to know them, looking at their websites to see if the research that they're doing sparks your interest or that you feel you could contribute to that. And then reaching out to them and developing a dialogue and rapport with them outside of the classroom, as well as within the classroom, because through that experience, the faculty will get to know you and perhaps expose you to maybe an opportunity in their lab, or an opportunity that they heard about through a colleague somewhere else, or a research placement that they know about that you would be good for. So using the faculty as a resource, getting to know them that way, exploring opportunities for research placements and internships through different research opportunities on campus here. Eureka, for example, they have a lot of opportunities that they advertise all the time through the different departments here on campus. So look for those opportunities because they're out there, but also be open to opportunities that come your way and not be intimidated by the fact that, oh, it's not really in my area, or maybe it's not 100% what I want to do. Because oftentimes when students do an internship or a research placement, they learn something about themselves, even if it's not towards their intended career field, but they're acquiring skills, they're acquiring communication, they're acquiring different things that they can apply outside of that opportunity. So be open, be proactive, and there are ways to do all that.
Mm-hmm. So to backtrack a little bit, how would you suggest the best way to sort of introduce yourself to a professor or faculty member?
Yes, excellent question. So communication is key, and from the perspective of a faculty member or staff member, you always want to approach them from a professional perspective first. Introduce yourself, hello, my name is, dear professor, dear doctor. Never, hey, you want to start from a professional perspective first, so they see you as a serious individual, a serious scholar, right? Mm-hmm. And then the more that you develop that rapport with that faculty member or that staff member, they will lead you towards how they feel comfortable communicating with you, and whether that develops into more casual. But always strive for professionalism first, and do your research. Every faculty member has a website where they describe what their interests are, where they're leaning towards in their research. Take it upon yourself to get to know that person before you reach out to them. And even when you're taking classes, I tell my students in my programs that I know it's intimidating to talk to faculty because you see them as this professional in this field that you couldn't possibly relate to. I teach a 102 course and some other courses for my program. And oftentimes I try to assign and interview a professor so that I force them through the assignment to talk to a faculty member of their choice. I prefer them to talk to somebody in their major because that is directly in line with creating a resource and a network, right? But I force them to talk to a faculty member, and oftentimes they come back with a report about what their experience was like. And 9 times out of 10, they say, this person is a person. This faculty member has this interest outside of the course and the material, and we were able to connect on that point. So, don't be intimidated. They're people too. They're here because they want to contribute to the experiences of the younger generation to help educate them. So, reach out to them.
I know freshmen and sophomore often have difficulty in asking for an experience within the lab, seeing if there's a open spot within the lab to assist or help or get this experience. How do you suggest those students to reach out and progress? Like, would you say that there are these opportunities, or because mostly internships are geared towards juniors, seniors looking to graduate? So.
Okay. Absolutely. So for my programs and the students that I work with and teach, I often recommend for freshmen to not focus on the outside experiential learning opportunities right away. Maybe in their first semester, it really boils down to wanting to make sure that they're adjusting to the transition from high school to college, right? Because it's different and it's difficult. And especially now with the COVID conditions of everything being Zoom, it's even more challenging. So just focusing on the ability to adjust to taking classes online, adjust to the different ways that courses are presented. Because in high school, 9 times out of 10, students go to the classroom, they listen, they might learn something, and then they study for the test, they take the test, and then they move on, right? There's a greater depth of understanding that needs to happen at the college level, so they can't necessarily do that. So focus on getting a handle on that transition first semester freshmen. Then second semester freshman and into sophomore year, there are opportunities out there to be involved in some internships and research placements. And even if there aren't, researching those opportunities so that when it comes time for you to be eligible, you know what they're looking for. So you can start building those kinds of the information you need, the skills you might need to be successful in a lab or in that internship placement. So when it comes time for applying to that, you have some skills that you can note in your statement and in your application that will make you stand out. So even if it's not possible for them to be directly involved in the internship or the research, as a freshman or sophomore, do the research a little bit early so that when it comes down to it, you're ready.
Do you have any tips for people who don't know, like, which direction to start off in, like what websites are out there or what options there are to do?
So for those that are unsure of their plan and path of what they want to do, I would say you all live in a wonderful generation of technology, and using Google for other things other than TikTok or whatever else you're doing, which is important too, because you want to have a balance of being able to have outlets for yourself to live, but also you want to use the resources available for your own betterment, right? So do some Google searches on the topics that you're interested in. If you're interested in being a mechanical engineer, Google mechanical engineer. Look at professional organizations that provide resources for professionals in the fields. Oftentimes, for example, I was a psychology major, so I joined the American Psychological Association as an undergraduate and as a graduate student. They have student affiliate rates, so that maybe for $35 you can have access to their journals, their bulletins, different conferences and opportunities. You can also look at what types of jobs are available in the fields. So you can arm yourself with the knowledge to make you more marketable for when you finish. So looking into professional organizations, looking into faculty who are doing things that you might be interested in, and doing informational interviews with them to just kind of see, is this something that I really want to do? And then I don't know if it's copyright, but I often recommend a particular website to my high school and my college students even. It's called sciencebuddies.org. It sounds kind of young, but it really is a great website because there is a career link that you can click on, and they have different jobs. And you can click on the individual jobs. They give you an overview of that job. They give you the education requirements, the money you can make, a person that's doing the job, and then something that I find really relevant to college students, they give companies that are hiring for that job. So students can then look at the companies and see, well, is this company in line with the kinds of things that I want to be doing? They can do some more informational interviews with individuals at that company. And then they also, if that career field isn't something that you're interested in, the website also recommends different jobs that are related to that career. So websites like that will allow students to do the kinds of exploration that they need to do to kind of find out about themselves.
This is it for this week. I'm Catherine Dwulit, and this is Grit 2020.
Don't turn around, just keep moving forward.